Job and work. These are two words that most people use interchangeably, but energetically and historically, they are very, very different. By the end of this video, you will never say them the same way again. Hi, I'm Donnielle Carter, nationally board certified health and wellness coach, and for nearly 20 years, I've worked with thousands of people exploring how their bodies, beliefs, and energy shape their lives. And today we're exploring the energy of words. Because words are not just sounds. They are not just communication. They are frequency carriers. They hold history, they hold emotion, they hold assumptions, and they quietly shape our reality without us even realizing it. Before we get into the etymology, where the words come from, and the energy a little bit, let's clear something up. Your subconscious doesn't just hear what you say. It hears how you say it. It registers the emotional and energetic charge attached to the words. If you say, I have to go to my job, your body hears obligation. If you say, I choose my work, your body hears agency. Tiny shift, massive ripple. Words are instructions to your nervous system and invitations to the universe. The language you use is constantly telling your brain, is this safe? Is this meaningful? Is this draining? Is this creative? So when we talk about job versus work, we're not being semantic, we're being energetic. So let's start with job. The word job appeared around 1500s and originally referred to a piece of work done for pay, a task, a contract, something temporary, short-term, transactional, and very specific. Energetically, job often carries things like obligation, duty, survival, external requirement, something you do to get to something else. Listen to how people use it. I need a job. I'm stuck in a job. I hate my job. Very rarely do you hear someone say, I'm inspired by my job. I can't wait to do my job. The word itself often makes things feel compressed. It implies containment, almost like you're fitting yourself into something. Now, there's nothing wrong with jobs. Jobs create stability. They create structure, they create income, and they can be stepping stones. But energetically, a job often feels like something outside of you. Something you clock into, clock out, rather than something you express through. Now let's look at work. The word work has much older roots, going back to Proto-Germanic origins, meaning to do, to create, to perform, to bring forth. Notice the difference already? Job is transactional. Work is expressive. Think about the phrases we naturally use, okay? Like my life's work, a work of art, inner work, energy work. You almost never hear somebody say my life's job. Because really, that just feels off. Energetically, work carries things like contribution, creation, movement, expression, evolution. Work can absolutely involve effort, yes, but it carries having a purpose energy. Work feels like something that moves through you into creation. A job feels like something that contains you. Now, each word carries different invitations. And this conversation isn't about making words right or wrong. It's about becoming intentional with the language you use to create your life. Here's where it gets even more interesting. The words you use don't just describe and create your reality. They shape your identity inside that reality. If someone constantly says, I'm just doing this job until something better comes along, their brain interprets that experience then as temporary and often draining. But if someone says, "This is the work I'm doing right now," their nervous system often registers a sense of participation, contribution, and engagement. Same activity, different identity. And this matters because your brain is constantly asking, who am I inside this situation? Am I surviving something? Or am I participating in something? The word you choose can quietly and dynamically answer that question. Now, here's something fascinating to try. Say this out loud. I have to go to my job. Now say, I'm going to work. Notice your body. Most people, a drop in the shoulders with work, they relax. A slight contraction in the body with the word job. Some people even feel excitement or creativity when they say work or my work. This isn't imagination. This is called somatic language response. Your nervous system interprets words as environments. Words you say or think are not neutral. They are signals. Your brain hears them as instructions about what kind of experience you're entering. So the language you use about your livelihood can literally change how you and your body experience it. Here's the interesting part. Changing a word might seem small, but language is one of the fastest ways to shift internal energy. Because the moment you change vocabulary, you change perspective or how you see things. And when perspective changes, behavior flows. Someone who sees every day of their life as a job might ask, what do I have to get through today? But someone who sees their days as work might ask, what am I creating today? Those questions create entirely different internal environments. And those environments influence things like motivation, creativity, problem solving, and resilience. Language doesn't instantly change circumstances, but it changes the relationship you have to those circumstances. And that relationship changes everything. Let me give you 2 simple but powerful tips. Tip number 1, language awareness. For 1 week, just notice which word you use. No judgment, only awareness. Do you default to job because it feels safer? Do you resist work because it sounds heavier or maybe more responsibility? Awareness alone shifts the energy. Because the moment you notice your language, you begin noticing the assumptions inside it. And once you see those assumptions, you have choice, total choice. Tip number 2 is intentional choice. Try choosing the word that matches the energy you want, not just the one you're used to. If you want more creativity, try work. If you want more structure or boundaries, job might actually serve you. You're not pretending. You're tuning your language to the frequency you want to experience. Here's the thing. You don't have to quit your job to change the energy of your work. Sometimes the shift happens entirely in language alone. The universe will respond to the frequency change long before the logistics change. You're allowed to honor the job and expand into the work, eventually creating alignment between the two. This isn't positive thinking. It's about conscious vocabulary. Because words are not labels, they're building blocks. I invite you to play with this. Notice what you say. Notice how it feels. Notice what happens when you experiment with different language. Because you're not just describing your life with words, you're creating it. Thank you so much for exploring this with me today. I am so grateful you were here and push play. And if you like more videos like this, please subscribe, like, and share. And check out this video right here for more mindset shifting tips and tools. And until we play again, remember, What you say creates. So what are you saying?